Since we passed the proposal for membership shares, I've been interested in what I can learn from multi-class share structures. A tactic most famously employed by Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg's share framework allows him complete control of one of the largest companies in the world, rendering the idea of shareholder voting useless. To own a share of Meta is to participate in the ups and downs of the stock price, but to cede all control to King Zuck. But I'm looking for a different outcome. I want my shareholders to be even more incentivized to vote and engage with the community of other shareholders, and to be motivated to choose the best outcomes as they guide my life decisions. So let's take a look at the mechanics of multi-class shares and how they are used for corporate control, and see if there isn't some way we might be able to adapt this idea to a publicly traded person. Meta has implemented a dual-class share structure to ensure a concentrated control mechanism within its corporate framework. This structure is divided into Class A and Class B shares, with Class A shares being publicly available and granting 1 vote per share. Class B shares, which are not publicly traded, provide 10 times the voting power of their Class A counterparts. This results in a significant centralization of voting rights, primarily in favor of Zuckerberg, who possesses the majority of Class B shares. Such a configuration is designed to maintain a balance between allowing public investment and ensuring that strategic decisions remain under the firm control of King Zuck. To strengthen his grip on the company, CEO Mark Zuckerberg also employs voting agreements with Class B shareholders. These agreements grant him the authority to determine how their 10x voting shares are cast during decisions, while the shareholders continue to enjoy the financial gains from these super shares. Additionally, a safeguard is in place through a conversion clause. This clause mandates that when Class B shares are sold, they transform into Class A shares. This mechanism is crucial as it maintains the aggregation of voting power by Zuckerberg, ensuring these super shares do not enter the general market. These strategic measures ensure that King Zuck influence remains undiminished, enabling total control over the company's direction while still offering economic advantages to the involved shareholders. Meta isn't the only company to use the strategy of employing multi-class share structures. Around 10% of publicly traded companies, notably within the technology industry, have adopted similar frameworks. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, serves as a prime example, having introduced not just a second class of stock, but a third. Their Class C shares lack voting rights and even trade under a different ticker. This addition was used to enable stock splits without relinquishing insider control. Such complicated share classification systems highlight the elaborate efforts made by corporations to strike a balance between encouraging public investment while preserving all the decision-making power. The tech sector is the most prone to the idea of the genius founder, reflecting the trend of companies maintaining that founder control while still accessing public capital markets. The use of multi-class share structures, as seen with companies like Meta and Alphabet, highlights how CEOs can safeguard their control while still raising money from the public. These models make me excited to experiment with different classes of shares within my own publicly traded life. But rather than empowering me with more control, I'm looking to give it to shareholders and find ways of encouraging more participation. My project has always been about the dynamics of control and collaboration and how corporate structures might be used more personally. But playing with share classes also underscores the importance for all investors to understand these frameworks, especially in the public markets where we've already surrendered so much control. It's not exactly a class of shares, but I'm also fascinated by tracking stocks. Tracking stocks offer a unique investment avenue, allowing shareholders to invest in specific segments of a parent company's operations, like Liberty Media's Braves and Formula One divisions. This specialized common stock tracks the financial performance of the subsidiary, directly linking its value to that division's success while keeping the overall corporate structure intact. Tracking stocks typically exclude voting rights, providing only economic interest. This approach allows targeted investment opportunities, but also maintains the parent company's control over strategic decisions. In a world of more and more mergers, I'd love to see tracking stocks become more common. So instead of investing in just Procter & Gamble, an investor could put their money specifically into Crest toothpaste.
Crest keeps on protecting long after you stop brushing.
Tracking stocks aren't that different than Google's C-class shares, offering economic exposure but no shareholder control, which is exactly what most companies want.